Hello, Supercars in Seconds here. Got a beautiful machine for us today. The Mercedes SLS from AMG. This car was very much an icon when it came out, and I think as time goes by, this is going to be one that's loved. Let's enjoy this lovely car. So SLS, of course, was very much a rehash of the original Gullwing doors, and they're just fantastic. How amazing this looks. It's so different really than any other road car. As you know, lots of cars have these. Obviously I'm a McLaren guy, we have these amazing dihedral doors, but this is just so unique and very much Mercedes-Benz. It's interesting, of course, when you're sitting in the car, you can't really reach this handle. It's miles up in the air. I know it's almost head height with me here. And again, to park the car is tricky because your head is there. And then we'll walk it now. I'll go 1, 2, 3. It's around about 9 feet from the nose back to the headrest. So every time you pull up towards these concrete markers, you think, oh, I'm good. And then you hear the scrape and it's too late. When you see the concrete marker over there, I'm going to go forwards and that's it there. Now I'm that far away from it there, and the nose of the car is almost touching the one in front of me. It's really a strange way to park it. I actually find reversing into spaces is a bit easier with the SLS. Alright, so let's climb in this monster. Let's have a look. Huge big sill here, of course, to climb over. Unfortunately, it does get hit by your feet, but that's all right. I guess clear bra, probably a good idea on that. But what a view. It really is pretty. And that hood, gosh, it's way down there. Then it curves out of sight, so I can't really see the front of the car. The fun detail, of course, is this amazing door. I can just about reach it and close myself in. And here we are. This has the red seat, which is really a nice red. It's not like a lipstick red, it's a little bit stronger. With the two-tone on the door makes it just nice. No reflections off the top of here. They didn't put red up there, so that's a good idea. And really a lovely machine. Very interesting way to open the car too. It's a regular Mercedes-Benz type handle. Just pull on this. Then if you push it with your elbow, up it goes. And it's kind of a weird door. But actually very beautiful and again, extremely unique. One great thing about SLS, these paddles are cold. It's a cold morning here. The paddles are cold. This whole big center console here is metal. They've gone to different polymers and so on for the newer cars, but this, back in 2012, this was actually very cold to touch, which is just a nice stylish feature of the car that it's actually metal. Same on these surrounds here, the vents. Everything's just first class and beautifully made. All of the fun stuff here. You've got your spoiler. There's a little spoiler hidden into the trunk that you don't really see. We can obviously better have that up, of course. That's perfect. AMG allows you to save the different settings here. We're going to drive it today in the Sport Plus mode, which really opens up that wonderful exhaust. So I've opened up the windows. This is how it sounds inside the car. So underneath this enormous hood, it's really huge. Incredibly long. I'll push it up there. That's it. Now, you'll notice that the center line of the front axle is right about here. The entire engine is behind that. So the occupant's weight and the engine's weight is all between the four wheels. They call that front mid-engine. It really is a beautiful looking engine. This isn't a 4-litre that's tricked up to say 6.3. This is the 6.2 8-cylinder, 563 horsepower, 479 pounds of torque, driving those rear wheels through a 7-speed dual clutch transmission. And I have to say, it's really pretty looking. It's just so far back in the frame. If you look at this here, that's obviously a 19-inch wheel there, and you can see the front of the engine's there. That right there, that's the front of the engine. Look at all that. Amazing. Really a nice look and an amazing power plant. As wild looking as the doors are here, they're actually kind of practical because they only stick out maybe gosh, 6 inches from the width of the car. And as they go down, they stay inside that. They never get any further out than that. So it's really very interesting. One thing, if you had lifts in the garage, of course, it does get very high. That mirror, I'm guessing, is about 6'5" off the ground right now. So you might have to be a little careful if you had lifts. But in the general garage, this is just very practical and lovely to be around. These magnificent doors, of course, do bring a problem. If the vehicle should have a rollover and you end up on, you know, with the tires facing the sky, which I wouldn't recommend in this car, but it's actually probably pretty easy to do. She is a handful. There is something under here that's kind of interesting. This is an explosive bolt that will blow this door right off the car in an emergency, so you are able to get away from the vehicle if it was on fire, if you were upside down or having a bad day, I guess. Very interesting technology. Having these doors go up, of course, creates a lot of engineering problems for rigidity, so they've strengthened all of this area here. You can see the size of this A-pillar. It's absolutely enormous, this structure here, to again, for rollover strength, and again, to provide us with the ability to open up these lovely doors. What's cool is you do have a little support here, the latch itself, and another support here. Those link into these little holes here and here to give us amazing side strength. She weighs about 3,800 pounds, and a lot of that, frankly, is supporting this amazing engineering feat of having the doors go vertical. You can see these great big calipers. Again, I'll put my hand against it for some scale. Very big. Again, bear in mind, this is 2011. So that's a 19-inch wheel. You can see that big rotor almost fills it. Going to the back wheel. Same thing, good 295 size tire, so a nice big fat tire there. And again, a big rotor on the rear also. So there's a very glossy button inside to open up this trunk. And it's a decent size. It's kind of shallow, but probably 4 feet wide, 2 feet deep, and about 18 inches high. So a good, useful size. One of the cool details in the center console, we got a little storage area back here. But I also got this little armrest. If I push this and slide it back, I've actually got 2 cup holders hidden away back there. So you can either have them hidden away underneath the armrest, or push this back and have your cup holder there. So I'm in the workshop with the car, and this is something that's very much a Mercedes-Benz-ism, this little thing here. It relates to the parking sensors. When you're going backwards, you can be looking in the mirror at this little thing, and it will glow orange by here if the parking sensor this side sees something. So if you see it beep, 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 and all of a sudden they're all going, then that means you got to stop. But if one is going, there might be something that you can't see in the mirror. It's really a clever addition. So pull the lever back, go into drive, and here we go. Let's put her into the Sport Plus mode. Well, it opens up my exhaust straight away. This is a special car. What I mean is a 2011, this particular one. I thought it was a 12, it's actually a 2011. This is very, very sensitive because she's naturally aspirated. Bear in mind, 563 horsepower, naturally aspirated. So one of the most powerful naturally aspirated engines of all time, actually. So really an experience. The 7-speed dual clutch is very responsive in the car too. I like this thing. It's just a special feeling every time you start moving in the car because she's such a big brute. Man, it's powerful. What a sound, gosh. I'm so glad AMG have kept this noise going. It's really a treat to be around this car. I actually have to talk quite loud. It's that noisy inside. What a great car. So I made reference to the original Gullwing car. Of course, I'll show that now. And just an amazing machine that was, way ahead of its time. And I think 20, 30 years from now, this car will be loved and remembered that same way. Because she's so powerful, because she's so noisy. It's just different than a lot of the cars around at that time and even today. It's about 3.5 seconds to 60 miles an hour. For some reason, they restricted the top speed to 197. 201 sounded better to me, but what do I know? Gosh. And it revs right out, over 7,000 revs there. There's nothing held back here. This is a proper car. All right, so let's take it into Batman's corner here. Jesus. Powerful. And completely flat. Very sensitive steering, very, very impressive. They've really done a nice job with this car. Right, almost 16 inches on these front rotors. Let's try them out. Moves around a bit actually under braking. I kind of like that. So I got the stability control in the ESC Sport mode. Let's spin this thing around here. It is incredibly tail happy. But believe it or not, that's a compliment to the car. It's so raw, it's so vicious. It definitely feels like a 70s car, like a 70s muscle car, with a great big Mercedes-Benz badge in the middle of the steering wheel. It's very strange. A very unique experience for sure. So coming down to our right-hander, transmission reacts not mega quick like a modern transmission does, but still very, very good. Boy, good power out of there. Boy, this really is an animal. I'll tell you the best compliment I can give to the car is it's like an analog car. All right, so there's no, it does have all the electronics, but it doesn't feel like it does. It's alive underneath you, and that's something that's getting less and less common in cars today. So coming back into the dealership, just moving her around at low speed. I got the window open. It's really a great car. It's just big. That nose is so long. It's really hard to get across. It's 3 feet longer than what you're thinking right now. Reversing into a space here. It's just fun. I'll put it into park. Give her a little rev. This is a cool car. So that's the Mercedes SLS. This one's done 24,000 miles. She's a 2011. It's just come in on trade here, where I work here at Dimmitt, actually. And really a beautiful car. I've enjoyed it very much. The experience, again, is very old-fashioned and traditional. I could never get that across enough, how almost rough the car is. And I think that's something that's really fun. I appreciate you watching the video. I'll put down here a video on the McLaren 720S against the Corvette 8th generation, so you can see the difference and compare those two cars. And I'll catch up with you again soon. Thanks for watching.